The most common Brazilian foods was the beans and the rice, and then there's always some kind of a meat, but it depends on what the meat is. In Ji-Paraná, it was mostly beef. In Maués, it was fish. Yeah, they're right on the river. Literally everybody was a fisherman. You could pull in a fish about that big, and you could buy one for about 7 reais. And that's about a 4-kilo fish, about 8 to 10 pounds of fish. So they really made good fish. It was really, really good stuff. Tambaqui is one of the more common fish that they eat. It's that big one. I've heard stories of 50 or 60 pound ones. So you're talking a fish about that big. Also, it's really nice about that fish is it doesn't have spines or anything. It doesn't have the little tiny bones that we have here in the trout. That one at least has ribs. So it's like you just slide the rib out of the meat and you've got a chunk of meat. It looks like chicken. It's about the size of a chicken breast, but it is really good. It's a really juicy meat. So fish, one of the other kind of a weird one that I had was the cow intestine up north by Venezuela. They just kind of made it into a soup with the macaroni, and you really couldn't tell the difference between the noodle and the intestine other than the taste. So it's just like, it's kind of a weird thought, but you get used to it. There are a couple places that I would eat liver, which at first I didn't like it that much. It kind of has a weird aftertaste, but there's other places where they make it really good. And in Cruzeiro do Sul, it was a lot of chicken. In Manaus and Cruzeiro, it was a lot of chicken and pasta. But then you'd also run across other stuff. Vatapá is something that they have from Bahia down towards the south of Brazil. It's kind of a bread type pudding. I didn't care for it too much because they like to put pepper on it and the spices, which I was not too much of a fan. But when they put it in front of you, you just eat it. And after a while, you don't even notice it anymore. It just gets really good. But one of my favorites was something they called Feijoada. It's a black bean stew. They will literally, it's like they throw the whole pig into this stew. They'll put pig ears, pig intestine, pig meat, everything in there. They'll throw in the beans. They make this really, really good sauce that goes with the beans. And then they also throw like a hot dog, bratwurst, everything into this stew. And then when you get that out, you put that on a big old serving of rice. Just throw it on top, mix it all together, eat that with banana and farinha, which is like a cornstarch thing. You just kind of cut your banana up, get a chunk of banana, the rice, the feijoada. It is so good. It's kind of a bland taste. It is so good though. They're very versatile. They will make a dessert out of literally everything. I'd never tried sweetened like avocado as a dessert. I didn't know you could. I always ate it as guacamole. But they would put it in and make like a cream, a mousse out of it. And it was really good. There's a lot of fruits that you could be walking down the road and you can pull a fruit off of the tree and eat it. There's a lot of that, especially caju, mangoes. There's one that they call carambola, star fruit, which it's just good stuff. They kind of advise you to stay away from it, but it's impossible to. You just got to pick who you got to buy it from. There's those people that's like, they don't keep it very clean or anything. You can see the dead cockroaches on the floor right there. It's just kind of a nasty place. And then there's the areas where like they're obviously trying to keep it clean. And they're usually pretty good about keeping it clean. So I mean, I never had too much problem buying from the street vendors. I would usually buy the picolé, that little ice cream thing, or I would buy, they would do the same thing with homemade ice cream bars on the popsicle sticks. So I would buy that stuff. I would buy, they call it pão de queijos, cheese bread rolls, about that big. You can buy like 4 of them for $1. And they're pretty good. They drink a lot of soda and a lot of juice down there. Not so much milk, but a lot of soda and a lot of juice.